My name is Sarah Bybee Fisk, and in 1995, I went to Bolivia as a missionary for my church and quickly just fell in love with a people who took me in, took care of me, loved me, worried about me, fed me, clothed me. They just took such care of me.
I had never really seen third world conditions up close until I lived in Bolivia. I lived there for about a year and a half. I was a little shell shocked when I started my time as a missionary because I really didn't fully comprehend until I lived there the conditions.
When I lived in Bolivia 20 years ago, I personally had to visit a medical clinic, and I recognized at that time that there were a lot of needs.
I wanted to do something. I didn't know what. I was just a kid. I was 21 years old. I had no idea. I had no connections. I had no resources. I didn't know what to do. I felt completely helpless. I think we all felt completely helpless.
Life in Bolivia is hard. It is a landlocked country in South America and has always been poor and in many ways lacks the resources that other countries in South America have that enable them uh, to progress. And so a lot of the problems that they still continue to deal with revolve around the fact that there's just such poverty. It was a long time before I was able to visit again. And when I went back with three other women with whom I had been a missionary, we were struck simultaneously by two things. First of all, that there had been a lot of progress and that the cities were bigger and more beautiful, and there had definitely been a lot of progress. And at the same time, we were struck by how much there was still a struggle in some basic areas to meet basic needs, one of which is healthcare.
We were shocked by the conditions there. We were surprised by the need. We thought with some modernization that, there's a Burger King now in Santa Cruz that such rudimentary medical care would be accessible. But as the city has grown so quickly, the hospitals have just literally not been able to keep up. The hospitals serving the poor, their resources are somewhat limited. They have access to some municipal and federal funds, but those are limited as well.
Of course, in these poor communities, they don't have public work systems. They don't have sanitation or running water, or electricity. So, of course, in conditions like these, disease can thrive. And going to the doctor is rarely an option for them. It's a real expense. It's a real sacrifice.
Diseases like yellow fever and malaria and dengue and now even Zika, and some of these diseases have an effect on the body that could be relieved and helped by access to basic things like dialysis machines, but they don't have them.
We were able to really see the needs and the differences between the hospital and healthcare that we have available here for us, as opposed to what's available for the population there.
We've had this desire in our hearts this whole time since we've come back, since we returned from our missionary service. But now that we're older, we are in a position to really implement this.
When we went back the second time, 20 years later, we've got more experience. One of us is a lawyer. The rest of us have careers and an education and connections. And we didn't quite feel so helpless.
Yapay is a Quechua word meaning to give a little more. And Quechua is a language that is spoken by many people in Bolivia still, and it's a language we encountered when we were young missionaries there.
It really got me thinking that we could do a little bit more and that we could make a difference for the lives of those that attend this, that go to this hospital.
We knew that we were not going to be able to solve all of the problems that Bolivia has medically or with education or otherwise, but we did have confidence that doing a little bit and giving that to this country that we love so much with all our hearts would make a difference.
These are hardworking, industrious people that love their families and that just need to be able to take care of their health.
And it's very, very easy to help them. All you have to do is donate some money, and we hope that you will. Your donation will make a tremendous difference. It will save lives, quite literally. We're going to Bolivia in September at our own expense in order to ensure that the hospital equipment is purchased and delivered, and we will be following up with the physicians and administrative staff there to ensure that it is continuously used and maintained, and that your donation will be making a difference.
In many ways, Bolivia is not on anybody's radar. It's not strategically important. It lacks a lot of the resources that other places do. And so I feel like it's kind of a forgotten place. But there are people who live there, mothers and fathers and children who need access to better medical care and basic medical equipment that we have and take for granted.
We know that great change can be made by very simple means. So this year, when you are thinking about what charities you would like to donate to, we know that there are a lot of great options out there. But we hope that when you're deciding what organization to donate to, you will consider our little foundation, because we believe that healthcare is the most basic of needs.